Akademiks can't ride no wave.
A little bit. It was interesting that that comment also came up because I felt like you were also, because you're kind of behind the scenes a lot, and even though people do
Yeah.
know you as a public figure,
Yeah.
you're not the one to like, hey, I'm hosting a press conference to like clear up whatever
Yeah.
misunderstands you have about me. But you were in
Yeah.
the media like a few days before, and it was regarding the Max B thing, and a
Yeah.
lot of people, when viewing that, I saw people kind of saying, you know what, rather than analyzing that situation, let's look at a pattern of what we've heard people say publicly that maybe even if we don't have understanding, it's like one of those like, hey, if 10 people tell,
Continue on.
yeah, if
Yeah.
10 people say this, I'm going with this. Could you explain what happened with the Max B thing? He had put up a post saying
Yes,
that.
it's really easy. It wasn't Max. We had an internal. Let me just take it back one. I'm not his manager. It's really important. I continuously say that because he has had someone, Black Ty has been on his team for 18 plus years. And that would never be fair for me to run around and take the credit and thing for that because he's been with him. Max has a partnership through his label with my company. And we're going to continue to move forward as far as helping with his digital footprint and everything else. So I like kind of said it. You know how certain people on teams are who may be upset by something, post something, it comes down in an emotional state. It goes back to what I said to you, where things can't come up and go down. People already have these triggers when it comes to me and you move forward. It's not much I can do, especially when you're in the state of working with, you may have 150 clients throughout 15 years and 4 may be upset. I got to just take it for what it is. Who am I to think I'm above discussion? And another thing is I can't run to the internet to hold my own press conference when I'm busy.
Yeah, I'll definitely say,
yes,
when you work behind the scenes, I've always said the manager, a label owner, and a lot of people who work these jobs that are very important, but you're not the public facing or the quote unquote, the
yeah.
talent. It's a thankless job. Like people only hear about you when someone's throwing you under the bus, but you never hear the praises loud enough when you're doing an amazing job. So it's one of those things where like, people might go off, well, I've heard 5 things about her, and it's like, well, you didn't hear the 200 things that were amazing,
Of course,
right?
that's never gonna be yelled and thing. Which I don't. Which now, at a sense, I had to find this hindsight because I used to get so offended by it. But now, when you look at it, think back to even when you were younger, right? And you took a test.
Yep.
Say the test was 10 problems and you got 8 right.
Yeah.
You would go home, or your teacher or whatever, they would say, what? They're highlighting the 2 wrong. Oh, you got a B, you got a thing.
Yeah.
We've always focused on the negative. I'm not going to negate it. Situation that like happened. I answered it. I think I gave Shade Room, no, we're fine. We move forward, and that's that. And that continues on because business still needs to be handled. It's unfortunate, but I got to take, to be in this business, it's good and bad. And that's a part of it,
So just for clarification, was that Max B on his, because it felt like Max B was saying, Karen Civil
No.
has my Twitter and she is acting like we're cool. We're not cool.
No.
I fired.
No. So let's do this. Me and Mac are absolutely fine. I didn't hack his Twitter. So that answers the question there.
Okay. But
Okay.
was it him on Instagram or no?
No.
Okay. So it's okay. So it looked like there's
it's a social media team, but I don't want to go into fully cating the business, but it was a social media team.
Okay.
Wasn't Max, him and I spoke, thing, fine, and go from there.
Okay. Is he comfortable with you moving forward? Because I think you said you and your team are going to continue to at least operate his Twitter socials. Is he personally?
No, we're still going to continue to work alongside him to help him
with
his digital footprint. Yeah, but he continues to run his digital footprint. He has all of his thing, and he'll still get assistance. But yes, nothing changes. Still moving forward.
Okay, and I see you had pointed out, at least in the write up that you did. I do know, and I noticed quickly because you brought Max to my attention several times.
Yeah.
In just trying to make sure I was aware of things he was doing, and I got to be honest with you. I think I don't know, maybe the team is fractured now, but whatever the team is, I guess that's you're
Mhm.
included, and also French. I've seen someone just Fabio mentioned it. Max B comeback from jail has been a knock him out the park. It's one of those where, like, for an artist that hasn't, he was
Yeah,
never like a Billboard chart topping artist before he got locked up. He
yeah,
was, of course, loved in New York and loved in certain circles,
yeah.
but he's came back out and he's been on a run. And that acknowledgement has to be given and shared among a bunch of people. Could you kind of describe, like, how did you even get linked up with Max B initially once he got out? And because I seen
Oh
you
no,
listed a few
it
things you
was
guys did.
it was before he even got out. So I was in communication with him, with his manager Ty, throughout the years. We would talk, and it was like we had a plan for when he came home. So from that plan, he told me all the things that he needed, and we worked it out. So it was like GQ. He do the Jets game. He meets Shador. He has his home dinner and all of the media, his first day home show. So that worked well. But then at the
How
same
much
instant,
intimately are maybe your team like involved with that?
100%, like
Okay.
making that flow and go, his um his waves giving and all of that. It's literally, that's the whole premise of when people go, oh, Karen disappeared. No, it's the work has to speak for itself, to be out there and thing, because everybody else, his job is doing the music. Ty management job is making sure he gets there, manage the situation. He wanted a label, he signed, he's good there. So it's like taking care of his label situation and all of those moments from, incorporating him into a fashion sense. Brittany, who worked on that end. So it's like bringing in the team down to his touring, bringing in Ash, who do all of those moments and things for him. So again, it's being able, is really important with somebody like him, is to have an amazing team, bringing them together to help lead him to victory. And that's the important part.
Yeah,
With
no.
him, we're super excited about. So even leading up to like getting him to that BET stage, you have to understand this was somebody who was in jail. Now he's on this BET stage performing. Then you saw him at like ESPYs. All of those moments for him are amazing. And that's a testament to, his hard work and the dedication of everybody around, um, making sure that this is successful.
Okay, and just asking the obvious question here, because I think when people think about these things, they
Mm-hmm.
think maybe, okay, let's say it's not Max and there's another team that you guys just had a disagreement, whatever the case. Is it a money situation? Is it like,
Oh no,
is it
it's
a
not.
money grab? Like,
It's
well, what's
no,
is
it's not. I know you're peering for more. It's not that at all. It's not a money. It's, God forbid, it's not a money situation. It's nothing like that when it comes to Max. It's nothing like that.
okay? Then I only mention that because
Yeah.
obviously, like, people
Yeah,
will look
no,
back
we're
at.
not in that place where it's disgruntled. I know I've heard those conversations. It's no disgruntledness, nothing like that having to do with any financing or thing like that.
Okay, all right. So
We're
but
good. We're
to
good. We're good. Addressed it and move forward from it. And like you said, it's one of those things where I'm on the back end of things, and when I come front facing, you hear these little things, people run with it. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and people are so fascinated with what you do specifically because it seems like such like a one-on-one thing. How do you even like procure new clients, or like how do people feel, or when do they get to the point where they need a Karen Civil to kind of, you know, help with what they got going on? Because it doesn't seem like you advertise, right? It seems like you just
No.
pop up with, someone you're working with. Is it just word of mouth? Is it something that you kind of maybe go to labels to be like, hey, listen, I could do this for your artist? Um,
No.
how does that get done?
No, so now I'm not even outsourcing looking for new work. These are relationships that I've maintained, and had already. So I'm continuing to work with them. So people like, the Clips to Tiana to YG on and off and things like that. That works for me because that's home team. It's it's business entities and things that make sense. That's as far as artists and talent. The other side for me is pivoting over, which people kind of can tell is not so much front facing in music, and being the one to be like, hey, I'm here, da, 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 and collecting a check for it. Where now I want the brands to hire me to help identify the influencers, the people, and everybody else that they should be hiring. I mean, they should have at their events to make them more extraordinary. So that's where it kind of lives now, where, you know, when I went to New York recently, people are like, oh, are you here for Summer Jam? I'm like, no, that would be great to go and attend. Usually I would be at something like that, but I actually have an activation in the Hamptons with Quavo
Wow.
and Popeyes. So when you think of that, but even with that, you remember, the lyric that Migos had with Popeyes and leading back into that and the budgeting and everything that goes into that. So that's what a weekend and thing will be. So to answer your question, it's through the relationships that I have with people who will come and say, hey, I would love for you to work with this person, and things like that. But I am not going out my way to outsource things because there's so many amazing people now. There's so many different resources that I don't need to super extend myself out as much.
Mm.
So it's very boutique style.
It's
It's
just-
very boutique style when it comes to the artists, but the brands have been amazing. Like today, I worked with 2K, which was
oh,
absolutely
nice.
amazing. All of their, shooting all of their content. And then even for that, similar what I used to do at Beats by Dre. And if I say it in the layman's terms, what I like to do is make sure, because they have budgets, let me make sure that I am hiring, I'm booking the up and coming rapper. I'm using Black people for photography, videography, basically, all the production and digital needs, getting them paid out for that and things like that. Artists, talent that just makes sense in the wheelhouse. Hey, pull up, come play video games, and we have a nice check for you. So those moments have been really, really cool. And then they're not as strenuous as, you got to do this verse, we got to go to this show, we got to da 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 da. So now it's about working smarter and not harder.
Uh, you know, I've
Yeah.
listened to your come up story. Your story inspired people even like me, people who were getting into the game, not being rappers, and especially like in an independent, like figure it out on your own way.
Yeah.
I remember the early stories of like maybe it was you working with Wayne and you
Yeah.
kind of helping him with the coming into the digital era, setting up a website, this
Yeah.
and third. How much more complicated from like back then, to now is the stuff you do behind the scenes?
Oh, it's 100% more complicated because everything is in real time now. So you don't even get a second to breathe or to even give it a beat. It just feels like everything is magnitude and so quick. But at the same time, I do appreciate it. I have an amazing team of people around me that I learn from, that help continue to keep this thing going. But honestly, it's just continuing to, I got to subscribe to everything, to the YouTube, to Instagram, to TikTok, like all of the platforms. And when I say subscribe, not to just the channel itself, but to their newsletters and things to know what the most recent thing update is, what's happening, how we can collab or partner with their platform and an artist, or, with my brand and a partnership they may have. So yes, just continuing to educate myself. It's a non-stop library of just continuing to gain knowledge from it. Yeah.
No, that's fire. No, listen.
Yeah.
I
I
always
gotta keep learning and keep going. But I appreciate you giving me this clarity. We haven't talked like this. We usually talk in DMs. So I
no,
appreciate this clarity.
well, I think we've had our offline convo, but we haven't had like people listening to us because, we haven't had much public conversation. I'll say
Yes,
that.
we have been to a point where, well, I will say, because people will hit me like, oh, I hate act. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do with that, because
I definitely know you're an advocate for me. I know.
No,
and by the way,
you know why?
and I've always
because it's important. Let me tell you why. It's important at the same time. Yes, your POVs and things may get crazy, and it was at a point, even say somebody you may have on your show, different things like that. But again, cannot stop you from having a point of opinion, can't dictate it. And like, who am I to allow? And the same thing I tell artists, who are we to allow our ego to assume this conversation can't happen? We're not, sometimes you're not necessarily supposed to see it. It's not supposed to be something you're looking for, or give them the full context. So that's how I always approach you when it comes to stuff. So when I see a post, I'll be like, hey, let's give him full context so that he can properly formulate his own opinion. And let's not give him one. Unless you're doing paid media or an ad, you can't tell him what to think, you know?
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you. I think your way of dealing with things and your approach to stuff, um, I could tell. Shit, we've had those convos of the
Yeah.
artists who definitely need you. Don't know why they don't, but listen, keep doing a great job. I'm glad you
Thank you.
clarified this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And honestly, Chad, I do like not that I would sit here and lie to y'all anyway. I do believe that there is a bigger conversation about this idea of narratives and paid media, whatever.
Yeah.
I do believe that's where she was probably like just aiming at. And
No, that's 100%. I want to offline with you because a real important part of context I want to continuously add is the conversation can't keep stopping or stop with Drake. It's a bigger conversation
Yeah.
outside of him, and he's not the start and he's not the final.